Hi there, if you're looking for some really big dividend paying stocks, that's what I'm going to show on this video. Now this is going to be very different from the other YouTube videos out there because this is not stock market related. I'm going to show you a brilliant young company that is privately owned, but I'm going to show you how you can get shares in that company, but dividends potentially 20 to 25% per annum could be payable by this company. So like I said, not your usual sort of video, so stick with it and let's just jump straight in. Now, first thing I want to do is outline the opportunity for this company and why they could make so much money potentially. There's a massive problem globally at the moment with industrial wastewater and ship's engine oil, or ship's slops as they're known. Here's a picture of a big ship just to give a sense of scale. Most of us who are land-based, we don't really get to see these ships up close, but they are monumentally massive. And it's a fact that 90% of the world's goods are transported by ships using a combined 350 million tons of fuel oil every year. And the waste material produced from the release of ballast water and tank residues, slops and sludges and soiled bilge water is considerable. All of it needs to be disposed of without impacting the environment. This is actually now written in international law as well. So these ships, 350 million tons of fuel oil every year, and it gets in those engines, it gets contaminated. It's a right monster of a mess, and there needs to be a solution. Well, there's one company, a small company, that is doing their bit, and by being a shareholder you can effectively help as well, and that's a company called Total Environmental Solutions. We'll run through the details on this and why this is very exciting. First of all, they clean waste oil, in other words ship slops, and they clean industrial waste water. They're working in Colombia. They're backed up by a British team of engineers and professional people, and they remediate industrial waste oil and wastewater so it can be resold and reused. So rather than having this old contaminated oil, which is just a nightmare for the world, they have some proprietary technology that allows this to be cleaned up, separating the different parts and allowing them to resell that product remediated back to the market. So let's have a quick look and see who's behind Tess. And I'll just highlight two of the people. It's only a small team, but let me just highlight two of the people in the company. First of all, we've got Jim Bradley. He's the CEO. He's got over 38 years of international technical, commercial and senior managerial experience with BP, Arco, Petro-Canada and Waitrose Energy Ventures, a company that he co-founded in 2010 and raised over $400 million from US private equity houses Riverstone and First Reserve. There's also Paul Richards, the chairman. He's a qualified solicitor. He spent 8 years in private practice, specialising in corporate, commercial and insolvency law. He transferred to investment banking, working for Hoare Govert, Collins, Stewart and Fairfax IS. He also worked in the city for over 25 years and has a very wide range of experience of working with public and private companies across a number of sectors. In summary, these guys know what they're doing. So let's have a look and see where Total Environmental Solutions are actually operating. So here we are on Google Earth. Let's just pan across to north of South America, and here's Colombia, and we're going to zoom in to Cartagena, which is just up here, and just to south of Cartagena is Mamonal, and if we zoom in here we can see all the refineries and all the work they're doing, plus you've got all the ports and all the areas where the ships come docking in here. And it's actually a pretty refined area. There's some big hotels, some smart places, but yes, at the south of Cartagena here is all the oil refineries, their industrial area. And just over in the land here, if we just scroll back here a bit, so Mamonal, and to the east of Mamonal in the countryside here is where Total Environmental Solutions have purchased some land in a joint venture partnership with a couple of other companies, and they are now preparing that ready for receiving slops, oil and industrial wastewater, which they can then clean with their proprietary technology and sell back to the market. Let's jump back into the presentation. So what we can see here is an aerial view of the area of land where they're operating. This is before they started work here, and in the distance here you can see the Mamal and the Cartagena industrial area, and so this is the area where they are working. So near Cartagena in Colombia. The actual site that they've acquired is 35 hectares in size. That's about 70 UK football pitches. So it's a huge area, and they've now got all the licenses acquired which allow them to carry out the remediation of these waste materials. Now, work began in January 2021 to clear this area. So you can see they've removed a lot of the scrub and woodland there to clear this area ready for the remediation of waste oil. And still in the background here you can see Cartagena and their industrial areas. So it gives you a sense of the scale of the project here, and here's a close-up with the JCB diggers, well, not JCB, CAT diggers, and the size of the project they're working on here. This again gives you an indication. You can see the bulldozer and some vehicles here. It's a big project. Now this is slightly further on. The reception pits have been dug. This is where the waste oil and the waste water will go, then gets treated and then gets put into other areas where it can be taken away and sold back to the market. But again, just to show the scale of this, you see these people stood here. This is a pretty big project for a small company. And this is a further aerial view of the whole processing site. And again, you can see the various pits, and they will gradually bring on the equipment they need for the processing. And that's where they're at. Now, we've just had news as shareholders. Their first industrial wastewater has arrived. And here's a photograph of that just happening. And this indeed is a milestone moment for Total Environmental Solutions, who have been working on this project for about 6 years, various stops and starts, and they're now in full swing. In fact, on Friday, 23rd of April, Total Environmental Solutions received their first industrial wastewater. This water was stored in 2 temporary mini pools and will be moved into 2 bigger reception pits next week. The membranes will be laid this week. So this is just a small pit just to take on board this first wastewater that they've got. Now, the images showing here show the delivery of the first initial wastewater, and this kind of marks the commencement of revenue. So this is what Total Environmental Solutions have been waiting for and working towards all this time. Now, the next stage will be to process waste oil from ships, and here's a picture of a lagoon with waste oil in. This is not actually a Total Environmental Solutions one, but it just shows that this happens all around the world, so they can expand their project, their technology, as they move on into profit and so on. And in fact, Total Environmental Solutions hope to be making a profit by July 2021, and the first dividends are expected in 2022. Now, the directors, it's worth noting, are not taking any salaries. They have invested heavily themselves, their own personal money, into this company. And the bigger the dividends, the better it is for them and for all shareholders. And that's why this is potentially such a big dividend play. Now, the calculations Tess have done say that as long as the price of oil stays above $25 per barrel, then this promises to offer very healthy, regular, long-term dividend payouts. At the moment, as I'm recording this video, price of oil is about $63 a barrel. In fact, it only once dipped down to around that $25 per barrel, and that was at the start of the global pandemic in March 2020. But apart from that, for the last several years, it's hovered quite happily around about the $60 to $70 per barrel. So this is a potentially very profitable long-term dividend paying opportunity. So let's have a look at what are the possibilities for shareholders. Now, I need to say here, capital at risk. This is for information purposes only. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is purely my own figures for my own play, which I've decided to make public, so you can have a look at these and see what you think on them. But this is not an inducement or an offer or financial advice or anything like that. So hopefully that's made that clear. Now, Tess are ultimately aiming to process on their site to the south of Cartagena around 700,000 barrels of oil per year. Now, if that's the case, that would generate for them in the region of £8 million per year in revenue, and the profits are going to be good, and they're expected to be in the region of £5 million. And obviously this has a massive dependency on the price of oil as to what price they can sell the remediated oil for. Now, Because, like I've said, the directors are totally invested in this. They've, really put a lot of their own personal money in, and they're not taking salaries. 90% of the profits are expected and could be paid out as dividends. Now, if that's the case, my own thoughts are, if you crunch those numbers, we're looking at a dividend yield of around 22.5% per annum. So in other words, 20 to 25% per annum, which is absolutely spectacular in terms of a dividend play. Now, to give you some other parameters here, the current value of Total Environmental Solutions based on number of shares in circulation and the average price on those shares is about £20 million. Now, obviously, if TESS produce some nice dividends and prove their model works very well, then it's going to attract the attention of some bigger players in the market, particularly the big petroleum companies, and we could see a possible trade sale or a takeover within 3 to 5 years. I know the directors are quite happy to look at that sort of time scale for a takeover. Now, if you gave a valuation of 20 times profits at 5 million means that you would give a valuation on TESS of around about 100 million, which is 5 times the current valuation of the company. So if you get shares today, then you could look at having very good dividends for the next 4 or 5 years at 20 to 25%. Plus, you could see an increase in value of the actual shares around about 500% increase as well. That's my own personal feelings. That's why I'm so keen and so excited to be a shareholder with Total Environmental Solutions. Now, you can't buy these shares on the stock market. They're a privately owned business. If you are a substantial high net worth individual, you may be able to approach them and get an investment direct with Total Environmental Solutions. But if not, then there is a way you can get shares today. I'm going to run through very quickly the details on that now. Now, I've been a member with the Angel Business Club since 2015, and they're a bit like Shark Tank or Dragon's Den, where they go and make investments in early stage businesses. So they're privately owned businesses. The Angel Business Club gets in there very early on. And like I said, I've been with them for 6 years now. I've been very happy with the results. They're founded in July 2015, offices in London, Gibraltar, Sweden. You can join from anywhere in the world. The Angel Business Club have got members from India, South Africa, members in Africa, in North America, South America, Canada, Europe, and the UK, Australia, New Zealand. All around the world there are members with the club. In fact, they've got about 1,600 active members worldwide, so it's not a big club. There's still a fair bit of intimacy. You get to have regular live webinars with the founders of the businesses that the club has invested in, so you really do keep in touch with what's going on. And the club is really good at picking winners. They've invested in 18 early stage businesses so far, and 3 of those have already floated on the stock market. Now, why would you want to join the club? Well, it's totally unique. You get shares early on in exciting businesses that you wouldn't get elsewhere. So like I said, think of it like Dragon's Den or Shark Tank, but for everyone, for you, me, for the average person, allows us to finally get a chance to get shares in these privately owned businesses that have been well and truly researched by the club. So it's not like the crowdfunding sites where you have to do all your own work and take the high risk, and most of those fail. We have a very high success rate that we're seeing with the Angel Business Club. And it's very simple. The club does all the hard work. So it's an affordable club. In fact, if you come in at the minimum subscription, it costs no more than a daily cup of coffee. So it really is fantastic, and you get shares every month. And a lot of people just plug in, treat it like a savings plan with their subscription. Now, one of the other advantages of the Angel Business Club that you don't get with other crowdfunding sites is that you can sell your shares when you want. So whilst you need to be looking at a medium to long term goal, so 5 to 10 years, you can actually sell your shares if you had an expensive bill, unexpected bill suddenly comes up. You can go into the internal trading, you can buy and sell shares there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and there's no transaction fees. So if you're a paid member of the club, you can go in there and sell some of your shares and raise some cash, and then just withdraw that direct to your own bank account. So that's the real benefits of the Angel Business Club. If you'd like to join the club, there is a chance to get free shares just by signing up for a free account. So go to theangelbusinessclub.com and sign up there. You'll get an introduction referral by me. They do have a refer a friend campaign that runs. So by doing that, you'll get some free shares just by signing up for your free account. Once you become a member, you will get the chance to upgrade and just choose a membership level appropriate for you. There's anything through from £80 a month up to £900 a month. And like I said, different currencies. You can pay in US dollars, you can pay in euros, you can pay in Great British pounds sterling. Really brilliant club to be with. Like I said, I've been with them for 6 years and my own portfolio has grown substantially in that time. I've got some shares in some really exciting companies, and you will see in the back office, if I just take you through, if we quickly look at the portfolio, we can see that in TESS, here we go, TESS, I currently have 20,000 euros, pounds, I currently have £20,000 worth of shares. That's just over 400,000 shares at 5 pence per share. So if you wanted to go and buy some shares, you just come into the trading section. We click on the private section and we go to total environmental solutions here, and here we get a chart with the price over time, and we can see on the right hand side here, people sell ask offers. So these are people selling their shares. You can either put a bid in to buy shares, in which case you can name your price you want to buy shares and hopefully someone might sell you some shares at that price, or you can actually just go in and buy the shares that are currently available. At the moment, as I'm recording this, there's not many shares available for sale. That's because Total Environmental Solutions is currently looking so strong, but you can pick up some shares there. The other thing you can do at the moment, it depends, but sometimes the Angel Business Club are giving out Total Environmental Solutions shares with their monthly allocations. So just by being an active paid member of the club, you get shares every month in businesses they've invested in, which will include Total Environmental Solutions. As I'm recording this video, I think 70% of this month's share allocation is Total Environmental Solutions, and next month I think it's going to be around about 50%. So do go to theangelbusinessclub.com, sign up there, you get a full 14-day money-back guarantee, you get to have a look at the company updates, you get the hub, you've got the webinars that have all been recorded, you can come in and look at the trading, you can check out your portfolio, you can find out more about the club and so on. Grab your free account, grab some free shares as a new member anyway, just for signing up for a free account. And if you've got any questions, do put them in the comments. If you found this video useful, give me a thumbs up, help support the channel, subscribe to the channel if you want more ways that you can make money online, whether it be through shares, private shares, cryptocurrency. That's what I cover on this channel, all things to help you make you richer. Thanks for watching.